Hello dear students. Today I am going to discuss the poetic form sonnet and the sonnet included in your syllabus Sonnet 18th by William Shakespeare. Now, what is sonnet? Sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. It can be of two types, Petrarchan sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet. Now, what do we mean by Petrarchan sonnet? Petrarchan sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. It has two stanzas, one of 8 lines called octave and another of 6 lines called sestet. So, Petrarchan sonnet is a poem having an octave and a sestet. Now, Shakespearean sonnet. What is meant by a Shakespearean sonnet? Shakespearean sonnet is a poem of 14 lines having 3 quatrains and a couplet. Meaning by the poem has 3 stanzas of 4 lines each and a couplet of 2 lines. Now, what is the rhyme scheme of Shakespearean sonnet? The rhyme scheme of the first stanza of the Shakespearean sonnet is A, B, A, B. The last word of the first line rhymes with the last word of the third line. And the last word of the second line rhymes with the last word of the fourth line. Consequently, forming the rhyme scheme A, B, A, B. Now, the last word of the first line of the second stanza rhymes with the last word of the third line of the second stanza, and the last word of the second line rhymes with the last word of the fourth lines. So, the rhyme scheme of the second stanza or the second quatrain is C, D, C, D. Now, the rhyme scheme of the third stanza, as the last word of the third stanza of the first line of the third stanza rhymes with the last word of the third line of the third stanza, and the last word of the second line rhymes with the last word of the fourth line. So, the rhyme scheme of the third quatrain is E, F, E, F. And now, the rhyme scheme of the couplet. The last word of the first line of the couplet rhymes with the last word of the second line of the couplet and thus forms the rhyme scheme G, G. So, what is the rhyme scheme of the Shakespearean sonnet? A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Now, let us read the poem Sonnet 18th that is included in your syllabus, in the syllabus of BA Second Year. Yes, let us read it. It is by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 18th is by William Shakespeare. As all of you know that William Shakespeare has been the greatest English dramatist. He has written many plays and he also wrote a sequence of sonnets of 154 sonnets. This sonnet, Sonnet 18th, it is dedicated to his friend, or we can say that it is dedicated to his beloved. He immortalizes the beauty of his friend in his poems. He says that the beauty of his friend is permanent and thus he becomes immortal. He will never die. He will always be remembered through his poems. This is all about this sonnet, and in this poem, the poet compares his friend's beauty, the beauty of his friend, with a summer day. He says that the beauty of a summer day is short lived, it is temporary, but the beauty of his friend's beauty is permanent. It will never fade away. The beauty of a summer's day fades away with the passage of time as it is short lived. But the beauty of his friend, it is permanent. It will never fade away. Now let us read the poem. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thee means you. The poet compares his friend to a summer day. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Thou means you are more lovely and more temperate. Temperate means mild temperature, gentle. The poet says that his friend is more lovely and more gentle than a summer day. As a summer day, it is hot. It has high temperature. It is hot. It is not so lovely, not so pleasant. But his friend, he is more lovely. He is more beautiful. He is more gentle than a summer day. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. The rough winds do shake the darling birds of May. The poet says that during the month of May, that is a summer season, during this season, rough winds howl throughout the day. Rough winds, hot winds, and they destroy the beauty of the day, beauty of the season, as they destroy the beautiful birds. The rough winds, they destroy the beautiful birds. So, the beauty of the birds, the beauty of the flowers during the month of May, during the summer season, is very short lived. It is temporary. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. And all the summer's beauty lives only for a short period. It is transient. But his friend's beauty is permanent. It will not be faded away. It is everlasting. So, here the poet makes a comparison between the transience of summer's beauty and permanence of his friend's beauty. And let us see the rhyme scheme. In the first line, summer's day. In the third line, birds of May. So, day and May. Day rhymes with May, and temperate, 8, rhymes with date. The fourth line, 8. So, the rhyme scheme becomes A, B, A, B. Now, second stanza. Sometime toward the eye of heaven shines. Sometimes toward the eye of heaven shines. And often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometimes declines. By chance, O nature's changing course, untrimmed. First of all, let us see the rhyme scheme of this quatrain. Dimmed, trimmed, aimed. The last word of the first line rhymes with the last word of the third line and declines, lines, and shines. Heaven shines and declines. Shines rhymes with declines and dimmed rhymes with trimmed. So the rhyme scheme of the second stanza becomes C, D, C, D. Yes, sometime toward the eye of heaven shines. That sometimes eye of heaven means the sun. Sometimes during summer season the sun shines too hot, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and sometimes there are clouds in the sky, and in the among the clouds the hot sun, it disappears, so it becomes dim. It is not so shining, not so hot, so it shows the unstable nature of the summer season. By chance, and every fair from fair sometime declines. And during the summer season, and as summer season is very rough, so during the summer season, the fair and fair, meaning by the most beautiful things decline, fade away. The beauty of these things is faded away by chance or nature's changing course, and the beauty during the summer season declines or fades away as it is the nature's course. As nothing is permanent in nature, beauty is not permanent in nature. The physical beauty decays with the passage of time. In this stanza, the poet wants to say that the physical beauty is not permanent, and the beauty of the summer season is not permanent. It is very short-lived. It fades away very soon. But in the third, let us read the third stanza. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. Thy means your, eternal means everlasting. Summer shall not fade. Here, summer is the symbol of beauty. The poet says that his friend's beauty, his friend's everlasting beauty, permanent beauty will not fade away, will never fade away. As it is everlasting, it is permanent. It is not short-lived. Nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Neither it will fade away, nor it will be decreased. The beauty will remain constant. It will remain stable. The beauty of his friend will be everlasting. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. And even death also cannot destroy the beauty of his friend. He says that his friend's beauty is permanent. He draws a comparison between the beauty of his friend and the beauty of a summer season. He says that the beauty of summer season is transient, but his friend's beauty is permanent. Even death cannot affect his friend's beauty. How? Now, how it is permanent? When everything is subject to decay, how his friend's beauty is permanent? When in eternal lines to time thou grasp, here time is personified. The poet says that time cannot destroy the beauty of his friend. How? How can time not destroy his friend's beauty? When in eternal lines to time thou grasp, eternal lines, everlasting lines. Which are the eternal lines? The poetry. Poetry by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare says that he will give place in his lines to his friend. He will write the beauty of his friend in these lines, and people will read it, and he will be always alive. His beauty will be always alive. It will never fade away. It will always be fresh. Now, the couplet. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Now let's see. See, the word see rhymes with the word thee. So the rhyme scheme of this couplet becomes G G. So long as man can breathe, the poet says that. So long as man can breathe, so long as there will be life, and people will read these poems, the poems written by William Shakespeare. And when they will read the poems, they will read about the beauty of his friend. And in this way, his friend will be alive forever. His beauty becomes permanent through his poetry. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. As long as, so long there is life on this earth, his friend will be alive. This poetry will give life to his friend forever. So he becomes permanent. His beauty becomes permanent and everlasting. Yes, let us discuss the questions. Answer the following questions in 20 to 30 words each. Yes, first, who is the referred to in the first line of the poem? The means you. And who is you? Who is the? The poet's friend. So, the word the is referred to the poet's friend. B. Next question. Who is the compared to? The किससे कंपेयर किया गया है? The means you, And who is the poet's friend? And the poet compares his friend to a summer's day. Now the third question. What does the poet say about the month of May? What does the poet say about the month of May? The poet says that the beauty of the month of May is transient. It is short-lived. It is destroyed by the rough winds of the summer season. Now the next question. How does the poet eulogize eternal summer? Eternal summer को eulogize means to praise. कैसे उसकी praise करते हैं? So first of all, what is eternal summer? What it refers to? So eternal summers here, it refers to the beauty of the poet's friend. Eternal means everlasting. That his friend's beauty is everlasting. It is permanent. Next question. How does the poet compare eternity with mortality? Eternity, शाश्वतता, mortality, नश्वरता. How does the poet compare eternity with mortality? So, mortality, what it refers to? The summer's beauty, beauty of the summer season. That here the poet makes a comparison between the beauty of the summer season and his friend's beauty. He says that the beauty of the summer season is mortal. It is mortal, nashwar hai. It is subject to decay. It fades away with the passage of time. It is short-lived. But his friend's beauty is eternal. It is permanent. It will never fade away. The next question. How does the poet talk about death? How does the poet talk about death? What he says about death? The poet says that as death is dreadful, it destroys whenever it comes. It destroys the person whenever it comes to him. But death cannot destroy the beauty of his friend, as he eternalizes his friend's beauty through his poetry. And the poetry will give life to his friend forever. So he will never die. Even death cannot destroy him. This is all about the questions. Let us do the synonyms and antonyms of this chapter, of this poem. The second question, synonyms. Supply synonyms for the following words. Lovely. Lovely means beautiful. Possession. 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 Possession means control. Shine. 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 Shine means glow. Temperate. 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 Temperate means mild. mild. Winds. Zephyrs. zephyrs. Oh, indebted. Now, supply antonyms for the following words. Antonyms. Rough. What will be the antonym of rough? Smooth. S-M-O-O-T-H. Smooth. Short. What will be the antony of short? Long. Heaven. Heaven. Hell. Antonym of heaven? Hell. Fair. Ugly. Antonym of fair? Ugly. Give. Antonym of give? Take. Decline. Rise. Decline. Decline means patan. Rise. Uthan. Day. Night. Eternal. E-T-E-R-N-A-L. Eternal means everlasting. Permanent. ये तो क्या हो गए synonym. And what will be the antony? Ephemeral. E-P-H-E-M-E-R-A-L. Temporary. Temporary. T-E-M-P-O-R-A-R-Y. These are the antonyms. So, learn these words. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.